What if every time you returned something to a store, you got back a piece of your life? Craig Mallory, he lived in a life of returns. Broken toasters, shrinking hoodies. One time, he returned a blender because he thought it looked funny at him. He wasn't cheap, just unsatisfied. Craig believed everything had a refund policy, even the universe. Then, on one random, sunny, slightly windy Wednesday afternoon at a strip mall department store called Midway Mart, he returned a $5 alarm clock. It was plastic, orange, tick, tick, tick. That just, never ticked right, he thought. The cashier, a teenage girl with pink bangs and Cassidy on her name tag, scanned it, frowned at the receipt, and said, "Huh, that's weird. It's already been refunded in time." He blinked, stared kind of, curiously, and said, "What?" But it was already too late. She'd hit the button. You might be asking yourself, what button? Well, stay tuned, because Craig then walks outside. The sun, it felt wrong. A man walking his dog turned the corner exactly like Craig had seen 2 minutes earlier. The birds, they chirped the same rhythm. Craig pulled out his phone, 3:52 p.m., but he remembered it being 3:54 just a second ago. He rushed home, checked his emails, an unread message from his ex-girlfriend, one she'd sent earlier that day. But now it was gone? It had never been sent. The refund? 2 minutes of time. Literally. Craig had just gotten a time refund. The next day, he brought back a waffle maker, a coffee table, and a raincoat he never wore. Each return gave him back time. He relived hours, conversations, days. He dodged awkward phone calls, rewrote job interviews, made every single green light. He was refining life like a perfect draft. Every mistake, erased. Every regret, refunded. Craig started keeping a notebook of rewind-worthy moments and the exact item he'd use to cash them in. But then, he got greedy. He returned a big-ticket item, a 70-inch smart TV, brand new, barely watched, barely used. Again, here's Cassidy. Rang him up. "How much time do you want back?" she asked. "As much as it'll give me," Craig said with a big, shit-eaten grin on his face. Cassidy narrowed her eyes. "That, my friend, is dangerous." He shrugged, said, "Well, I'll risk it." She scanned it, tapped a few keys. A loading screen flashed across her terminal. Processing 8 years, 4 months, 2 days. Vision blurred, his ears rang. He stumbled back a little bit. He blinked, and when his eyes opened, he was in a hospital room. A nurse then walked in. "Mr. Mallory, you're awake. It's 2015. You were in a coma after a car accident." Craig sat up. "What?" He looked at his hands, younger. No scars. A TV on the wall played a news report about a missing girl. Someone he vaguely remembered had been found years later. But now, the case was fresh, still unsolved. He had gone back 8 years. But something was wrong. No one remembered Cassidy. No one had heard of Midway Mart, and Craig had no idea what items he had returned, or, how to get them back. Until one day, Craig found a strange notebook in his closet. It was filled with receipts, dated with future years, things he hadn't bought yet. Each item had a number beside it. 1 hour, 3 days, 2 years. He realized these weren't purchase records. These were a map of how to get home. He began repurchasing the items one by one. As he did, the world shimmered like a page turning back in a book. But with each item, the memories, they got fuzzier. His mind blurred, timeless. Names, they started to change. People, they started to vanish. In a small pawn shop in Idaho, Where Midway Mart once might have been, Craig found an old dusty receipt stapled to a wall. It was for a $5 orange alarm clock. He bought it. He took it to the counter. The man behind the register smiled. You really sure this is the version you want to live in? Craig paused, looked around, thought of all the lives he'd touched. Some gone now, all erased, forgotten. He took a deep breath. Yeah, he said. I think this is the one. The man nodded. Final sale. No returns. The end. Hopefully you enjoyed another episode of Tales of the Beard. We'll be back next week. Take care, everybody.